One of the hardest parts of going through breast cancer or any kind of cancer is the change in your body. And for some women, after a mastectomy, they're unable to have reconstruction or they choose not to have any. Christina Ursin is one of those breast cancer patients. She's here to talk about her journey and how she's hoping to help other women. Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us a little bit about your diagnosis, when that happened, and the process that you went through.
So I was diagnosed when I was 35. That was about 4 years ago. Initially, I started off stage 1, but they said, we have to take both of your breasts. So went through that. I had always planned to have reconstruction, and it failed twice. And so I had to end up going flat. Have had radiation a few times since then. And then in 2021, it metastasized to my back and to my hip. But I mean, it's been a very long journey. But I have met some of the most incredible women throughout this journey. The breast cancer community is just, there's nothing that compares to them.
Well, and each woman has their unique story, but the underlying thought is we're all having this disruption, this incredible interruption in a world that, I mean, you obviously have to face your mortality in a real tangible way.
A phone call none of us wanted to ever get.
Right, right. And then your world turns upside down, and you have to become like this instant expert on how to navigate the medical community. You have to advocate for yourself, and you're still trying to process, I have
what
cancer.
Just happened.
Right, right. Now, okay, so at 35, super young, and obviously your body changed. You were unable to have reconstruction, which, I mean, it's already hard to go through all of this, but you've talked to patients, you've seen patients, and that is that kind of recurring conversation about how you don't feel feminine anymore.
Yeah, and society's standard of beauty, I was like, am I still beautiful? Am I enough? Am I broken?
Right.
Am I ever gonna come out of this? And my first support group that I went to, so many women around the table, they would say, and their heads would hang, I don't like my new body. It looks weird, and it just broke my heart. And then, I had some of the same feelings with that. So, hence why BAO was a thing that I wanted to create.
And we'll talk about that, because BAO is it's an acronym for
breasts are overrated.
Right, and you've come up with these t-shirts, and the thing that's unique is on the back of them, you've actually put those sayings that kind of crossed your mind.
These are things that I needed to hear as I've been going through cancer and just reminded of, and I thought, okay, if this would help me, hopefully this would help other women that are walking through cancer as well.
Tell me about the thought process of designing these clothes, these tops, the one like you have on.
Sure. So I'm actually wearing one of the chemo tops. So one of the issues that I've had while walking through this journey is I didn't know where to go for what, I got the phone call and I was like, what do I need?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to wear? I didn't know anything. And if I could take the hard, cancer is hard enough. If I could take the hard out of shopping for breast cancer patients, I want to do that, because I found myself, in clothing stores, and things fit weird, and it just wasn't the same. And more often than not, I would be in the fitting rooms crying, and I was like, this is terrible.
Right.
and so, you already feel like you're walking around with this big sign over your head, like something's wrong, something's wrong. And so I wanted to, create a line of clothing that you wouldn't be able to tell, this was a chemo shirt, or for lymphedema, or for someone that has gone flat, and have them still be able to look in the mirror and smile, and feel beautiful, because they are.
When we talk about chemotherapy, just for patients or viewers who don't know, you usually have a port, and that's where they usually do the drip from the chemotherapy, and how you get your clothes off and how you navigate. And this, you can see here, it just has kind of a drop-down shoulder so that it allows easy access to that port and that treatment. And then obviously the material is very flattering, whether you're full-chested or flat-chested. I think this is, and this is just kind of getting off the ground. You're kind of starting this line.
Yeah.
So we want to let folks know that there are clothing remaining items available, but she's also doing some pre-order and also some crowdfunding. So we'll put the link on our website to all the details that you need. You can go to newson6.com for that information. Christina, thanks for coming in and
Thank you so
sharing
much
your
for
journey.
having me.
T-shirts are also available, and that helps fund the whole
Yes,
process.
yes.
Great. Nice to meet you. Good luck
Nice
with
to
your
meet you.
journey.
Thank you so much.
All right, it is now 9:20. Sweet treats are a sign of the season, right? Meredith McCown's going to take us live to a local business that's starting to bake up some cookies. The set of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit opening up for overnight guests as well. We'll tell you how you can book your stay in one of the Hobbit holes from the movies.